cheese. Walking up to me, like how do I see you? In my DMs, boy, I can't believe you. Trippin', we gon' put them dots on them, got the measles. Flyer than the seagull, stick them like a needle. She know I don't need her, I don't wanna need her. Got no money for her either, I just wanna freak her. But that's just my steal. Shout out to the sleeves, niggas out here greasy. Why I keep my peace? I was trying to play it cool, they was being rude. Hotter than a candle, got the fans blue. In my sandals, I'ma play it cool. I'm too hard to handle, I'm the man too. I'm shining, walk up in the spot, I got my knot and my diamonds. Oh, you know what time it is. Oh, Frankie Lyman. Oh, try and take me out my clothes, my designer. Oh, Frankie Lyman. I come hit the scene. Walk up in the spot and you know I'm throwing bees. It's me and my team. Straight off 53. They know I'm too beat up. I can't hear, can't see. I look up, say cheese.
Shot me down, felt like a rifle. Fast forward a few months later, you keep bugging me about a title. So don't get me wrong, I'm just waiting on that perfect time. Finally calling you mine, late nights tipsy, pouring these glasses of wine, we classy. Even though the whole time these folks don't know you nasty. I can just touch on your leg and you give me that look like, boy, let's go to the backseat, a straight savage. Must be from Orlando, girl, you got that magic. Straight ball hog and I can't pass it, you so dope and I'm an addict. Every time we out in public, all these dudes be staring in your face. Like a jealous type, but I'm the nigga gon' catch a case. Cause girl, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know. Hey, mama, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know you got me. Feel like you Illuminati, cause I promise that you got my soul. Tell me all your secrets, I promise they won't get told. Cause girl, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know you got me. Mama, you got me. Yeah. Okay, now let's slow it down. I'ma take you to a quiet place. Stop asking me about groceries. I blame the homie Kevin Gates, but you know I'ma please you. Wear that dress that short and see-through, looking sharper than a needle. Yeah, they hate cause they wanna be you. Baby, we can roll around and just kick it. Let me feed off your vibration. Call me when you need me. I'm pulling up with no hesitation. Rocking your dashiki and natural. Girl, you far from basic. Probably said too much in this song. Basically, shout it, take it. Every time we out in public, all these dudes be staring in your face. Like a jealous type, but I'm the nigga gon' catch a case. Cause girl, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know. Hey, mama, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know you got me. Feel like you Illuminati, cause I promise that you got my soul. Tell me all your secrets, I promise they won't get told. Cause girl, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know you got me. Mama, you got me. Yeah. You know you got me. Girl, you know you got me. You got me, baby. You know you got me. Hey. Girl, you know you got me. Yeah. Shorty been girl, you know you got me. You know you got me. Hey. Girl, you know you got me. Every time we out in public, all these dudes be staring in your face. Like a jealous type, but I'm the nigga gon' catch a case. Cause girl, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know. Hey, mama, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know you got me. Feel like you Illuminati, cause I promise that you got my soul. Tell me all your secrets, I promise they won't get told. Cause girl, you got me. Yeah, girl, you know you got me. Mama, you got me. Yeah.
Always on the go?
Yes, ma'am.
Listen to us anywhere.
Download the TuneIn app. Okay.
Type in WindyCityUnderground.com. It's that easy.
Ooh.
For your music, your station.
I need like a 6 days.
I just want I want to get
Yes, please.
little pants and a shirt.
So I'm gonna go right after this joint. Right in here? Okay.
Sorry, Grandma.
I've been fiddling and working, know my boss is tripping. I saw the riddle when the riddle is her boss is tripping. She advocates my independence cause it's for the children. Overall it's for the city, better yet it's for the future. She says don't worry about the problems, focus on the music. Does the focus on the music guarantee solutions? I briefly went and did some homework, pulled up our statistics, and saw the detriment to progress based on math percentage. All the students in the city barely comprehend it. They have a lower chance of graduating in our city. When I tell her of the issue, she don't want to hear it. It ain't that we are incoherent, but support is inconsistent. That's why teachers go on strike, they're fed up with the system. There's no allocated budget placed for academics. There's a lot of issues active, but no activism. They want to eat, but hate to serve. It's in their mannerisms.
Hey, what's going on? This is Bowman. Give me a call whenever you get the message. Give me a call back. You look on your phone. I have the 707 area code now, so give me a call back. Love you.
Sorry, Uncle Booney. I hate you going away to Cali, but my girl is tripping. At least you understand I'm busy, that's the world we live in. I want to cuddle up, cover her up, I love her, but I'm getting older. If I don't make it, tell me what we're doing. If I'm out here making nothing, what are you receiving? If I'm out here getting crumbs, then tell me what we're eating. If I trail you every move, then tell me how to lead us. If I can't provide for you, then tell me why you need me. Put it this way. If Barack was busy speaking or was scheduled for a briefing, flew the agent for the weekend just to settle with Koreans. In the middle of the meeting with Michelle, asked him to leave it. Nah, she be patient cause she knows he yearns for no one else. She knows that when he leaves, that his only thought is coming back. I know you want attention, you hate when you're left by yourself, but grind is what I do, and I do until there's nothing left, baby.
Hey man, just give me a call so everything was fine. That's all. I'm doing everything. I'll talk to you soon, man. Love you. Bye-bye.
Sorry, Daddy. I was reading through this article in Quincy preaching Michael's a thief, Giancana killed Kennedy, Marvin was gay, the Beatles can't play, Hubert Laws and Herbie Hancock had Hendrix afraid, Tevin Campbell isn't praised and deserves more acclaim, rap music's the same, pop music is lame, all music's monotonous, all loops and no change, all producers are lazy, and we don't learn from predecessors. So Michael was passionate, Giancana had purpose, Marvin misunderstood, the Beatles beginners, Hendrix had to innovate, so he stayed in his lane, Tevin Campbell felt pressure because his praises were premature, Earth's in a new wave, pop's in a new age, all producers are unmotivated cause who craves originality stuck in our ways, but I'm over influenced, I put the truth in my content before another construes it.
WindyCityUnderground.com.
Your music, your station.
Hey, what's up? This is Danaya Azure, and this is another episode of Danaya Azure Radio. Hey. So I have my fabulous model, actress friend, Naomi is in the building. You know what the funny thing is? She actually is a graduate of Illinois Media School here as well. Can you hear me? Can you hear yourself?
I think, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. See, mics are working, mics are going. I love it. So a little backstory. So I met Miss Naomi when I was working with Cassandra Bell on the amazing movie September Rain, and she is the star of that movie. So,
I am Rain.
You know, one of the dopest things that I heard about her was that was her very first movie, and when I say she killed it, I mean she absolutely came and slayed, and the movie was incredibly powerful. So I know your I've seen your attitude, your personality. What did you pull from to go and do that role?
So I think the funny thing when people ask me like, man, you really like portrayed, you know, this girl, and I'm like, well, we had a lot of similarities. Like, you know, Cassandra loved that what I brought to it, which was sweatpants and like this kind of really chill, laid back attitude. And I'm like, that was kind of me. Like, I was just being myself, you know. Obviously, when like some of the really emotional scenes, you just have to pull from either putting yourself in that person's situation, or you have to think about like your own, you know, whoever in your life, like any troubles you've been through, whoever you've lost and stuff like that, and you gotta like in that moment use that to bring out an emotion, you know. So I'm like, sometimes it's a little mental, but you do what you gotta do. So I'm like, I just kind of went with the flow and, you know, picked up on what I could and tried to really evoke the emotions as if I were Rain.
Awesome. So how long have you been involved with acting and all of that?
So September Rain was officially like my first featured role.
Right.
Before that, I was an extra on the last episode of Empire Season 1.
Okay.
And the little rolling credits at the beginning, I was standing there pretending to wait to get my CD signed.
Right.
By Jamal. And but other than that, yeah, that was really September Rain was my first real serious complete acting experience.
Wow, that's awesome. And I think the biggest thing about that movie, because people that don't really know what it's about, the biggest thing about that movie was it really focused on the girls that are involved in gangs. Now, it wasn't based on a true story, but it kind of was, because it is a story of a lot of girls that are in the juvenile justice system at this time.
Right.
And I think it really showed the effects of that.
Yeah.
And it really, because there's this misconception of, like, if you're involved in a gang, then you're nothing but a thug and a monster. And it really brought to life what these girls went through and what their struggles were and how they got to where they were and what kind of support system that they had.
Right, which was really only each other.
Yes.
So, and a lot of times that's all you have. They say family isn't necessarily who you share blood with, it's who you feel like this is family you've gone through the most with or support you the most. So I think that's what it really was. That's the story that we were able to tell in September Rain.
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing about September Rain for me was that I said it as soon as I saw the movie, it's something that every child should see, something that every parent should see, especially any parent of a teen, because there were so many signs that were there that were saying that these girls are in trouble.
Yeah.
And nobody reached out, nobody cared, nobody was like, they were just kind of like, oh, they're just a group of thugs kind of deal, as opposed to seeing them as real people, except for the therapist, aside from that.
Yeah. And then that was hard because, you just have one person trying to help you out. And at that point, those girls had been through so much.
Yes.
That it was kind of like, whatever you trying to help me, I'm not ready to receive it right now because there's so many other things that they were dealing with in their life,
Absolutely, absolutely. So what got you into acting in the first place?
It's what I've always wanted to do. Acting, modeling, I'm trying to eventually work on some music.
Okay, go ahead.
And so I tried the 9 to 5 and working in a cubicle and all that, but I'm like, yeah, ultimately what I want to do is, just act and model and music and radio and undo all that. I'm like, that's where my heart is, and it's always been since I was a kid. So
Definitely. And so not only is she a fabulous actress, but she is also a model. It was so funny. I looked on Facebook and somebody posted a picture of her in a Kohl's ad. And we were talking a little bit about that shoot. So tell me a little bit about that photo shoot and what you had to do. Because people don't understand. Modeling is more than just taking 1 or 2 pictures. Like, she was telling me she had so many outfit changes. And I was like, wait, how many outfit changes did you have to do in order to get those shots now?
Yeah, so literally it's like, and that's like my rough estimate because I wasn't keeping count, but I had overheard afterwards. So it's I think 50 something outfit changes, and you just do them, one after the other. Like, you go change, you come out, you take pictures, yeah. And yeah, that energy. And you gotta, and for Kohl's, it was the juniors, ad that I was doing, the juniors clothing. So it's you have to be really young and excited and smiling and oh my gosh, I love this outfit. Yeah, the whole day. And I was there it was a shorter day, so I was there from about 8 to 3, I think. But still, that whole time, that's all you're doing is you're just, go in, change, come out, picture, and then, turn, picture, go back, change, and come, and that's back and forth.
So, and here's the thing. So, I've worked on photo shoots before, and we do maybe, Lord, I think for your shot, you did what, 3 photos? No, three changes? Yeah. 2 to 3 changes, right? That's what I'm saying. Like I said, 2 to 3 changes, and she's talking about she did 50 changes. Woo! Right? Yep. That's a beast. That's a beast.
Yeah, and then you still gotta touch up, makeup, the hair. And you gotta change it for the look, depending. Yeah.
I know makeup and hair was going crazy. Don't touch that. I just fix that. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. You really underestimate models.
They do.
Modeling.
Yeah.
They just see. They see the
after
result, and they don't understand what it takes
to get there.
And I think that's how it is, unfortunately, with everything. We don't know what it takes for everyone's job, and you'd be like, oh, you have it easy. And it's like everyone has their own little struggle or their own little, stress. It's obviously different for everybody, but I'm like, everybody has, their little like overwhelming moments and stuff in their job or in whatever they're doing. So I'm like, it goes into all that, like even acting and modeling. People are like, oh, or even like radio. People are like, oh, you just got to get on the mic. And it's like,
no, right.
Excuse me. No.
Friday 9 a.m. Come here Monday at 1.
Right.
Yep. And you gotta produce, and you gotta, while you're talking, you gotta listen to yourself. And especially in like, I came from Live 99.9 in South Bend, Indiana, which is, comparable to like a B96 here in Chicago, top 40s. So it's like you only get to talk. It's completely different from, when I was, because I'm like, when I was on The Edge, the radio show in Lombard, I'm like, you talk for how long you want. But I'm like, when you're on air like that in the market, I'm like, it's super 10 quick. Seconds, 8 seconds, and you got to make it quick to the point, and you got to make sure your levels are good, that you're not over the music, that, everything. So I'm like, you're listening to yourself while you're talking. Right. And I'm like, you got to be, a little nuts to be able to, like, handle all that in your head, because I'm like, it's a lot. It is a lot. It's and that's what people forget. They're so focused on, it sounds so good. And it's like, well, that took years of practice. Mm-hmm. Like I remember the very first time that I did a major broadcast show, I was doing Next Legacy, and I was so nervous. I was not just co-hosting, but I was so nervous. And I'm glad I didn't know the numbers, and then I heard the numbers, and they're like, because I got into it with one of the guys that was calling in or whatever, and the girl's like, you can't just like, she's like, you can't be flipping out over 600,000 people. I said, like, how many people? 600,000? Wow.
What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what, like, you forget that sometimes. Yeah, you just get on the mic, and it's hard. Yeah. Yeah, and you're having a conversation in essence with yourself, but that so many people are listening. So I'm like, it's a little, everything has its magic. It's behind the scenes magic that we just have no clue about. Absolutely.
Really quick, what is your social media one more time?
Social media is always be love. That's
underscore.
The plug. That's the plug. Oh, yeah, underscore. But I mean, I think I'm the only one that pops up, right, for the most part, once you start typing it in. I better be. No, just kidding. I'm gonna call Instagram right now. Just kidding.
So what was your favorite experience when you went to Illinois Media School?
Oh man, the whole thing was my favorite experience. Like I cried the entire ceremony of graduation. Oh. I cried the whole time. Like people were like, "Why are you crying?" Like I get it, but I cried the whole time because I'm like, just even how I came upon Illinois Media School, and I can tell you the whole story and try and make it brief. So I had tried looking at the school beforehand. I don't know if it was like a year beforehand. And I have a journal. I started a journal. I think it was February 2015. Right. And I wrote in this journal, I'm like, I'm trying to go to Illinois Media School, but, financial aid, like I can't get any assistance. And I'm going to have to pay like $800 out of pocket a month. And like, I don't have that. And in this, I'm writing this in the journal. And I'm like, what do I do? Help. Look at my journal, February 2016. I'm in Illinois Media School. Come on. I was with my mom. We were going out to, I think, what is it? I don't remember, but I think it was like Hydrate. I think it was Hydrate in Boys Town. So we were going to go see a drag show. Yes. And me and my mom went, and we're in the car. And anytime the radio's on, like if there's commercials, like before I got serious into radio, like you don't listen for when they're talking and stuff. Like you literally just skip to the music, because I'm like, I don't care what you talk about. Which is bad because now I'm in radio and now I'm like, I want to listen to everything they're saying. Right. So I'd hear, commercials or whatever, and I'd right away change it. And for some reason, like I was about to change it and I heard like Illinois Media School, and I was like, So I stayed on the commercial, and it was this contest. B96 was going to be at Illinois Media School Lombard, and you show up and you like try and be a contestant or whatever to like read off this prompter, and then you'd be able to go to the Jingle Bash that year. Wow. Mind you, I'm like, I literally was about to switch the radio station and heard like something about Illinois Media School and stopped. So right away, I'm sitting in the car, I get on my phone because it's like, enter at whatever website. So I'm like, all right, cool. I get on my phone, I enter, got confirmation for when to show up, whatever. Met Styles and Roman, who were on the morning show. Right. Yeah, and then Eddie V from Eddie and Jobo, who used to be on B96 back in the day. Like Eddie V was there, and so I met all these people. I walked in the room, like the energy was amazing. And I was like, hi, and I was shaking everybody's hand, and they're like, oh my God, like, you're so, bubbly or whatever. They're like, what are you doing sitting behind a cubicle, in a cubicle, like, and because that's what my job was at the time, a 9 to 5. And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm trying to get out of.
Right.
And so, we got in contact, everything. So I won that contest and was able to go to the media school, because I think it was like a scholarship too, like a small scholarship. So I got to go to Illinois Media School. I got a job at CBS Radio at the time. Yeah, from that day. And so I was in promotions and for B96, and then you always help out with the other stations too. Right. But so I got a job, I got the school, and and it all happened because I feel like that going into yesterday's event that you and I went to, it was all in the power of attracting, and I attracted that. And I'm like, it's so crazy looking at my journal, because then February 2017 I was full-time in radio in Indiana, the midday spot. I'm like, what? And here in 2015 in February I was writing about how I was stuck, and I'm like, you just see every year, and I'm like, now February 2018 I'm back in Chicago, I'm a signed model, I'm like, life is crazy.
Yeah, it's so crazy, because especially talking about the event we were at yesterday, Alicia Shaman had this incredible networking event, a panel. Every single person on that panel just poured their heart out and explained their journey. Yeah. Shout out to Erica Malden. Shout out to Meha. Shout out to Jazz, who is the owner of 4-Star Casting. Shout out to Karen. Shout out to every single queen that was on that panel. It was a panel full of women that are in the industry, and they were telling you not only how they got there, but what they're doing to stay there.
They were giving keys.
They were giving They were giving
keys to success.
Oh my goodness! They gave so many gems.
Real advice. It wasn't just
no.
Statistical stories. It was
no,
real
it was
advice.
And their life story and their journey and how they got to where they are. And I'm like,
honestly, I've never been to a panel.
No, and that's what I was telling. I was like, I've been to so many networking events, and they've all been amazing. I've gotten so much from them and everything. But I'm like, this one was like being at church. I just felt yes. Yeah, I'm like, it was.
In a room with them drinking.
Yes, it was just a bunch of women, and we were just all bonding. And I was like, what?
That's it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing, and it was such a beautiful event to be at, and it was packed too.
It was.
It was packed because people really understood what it was about, and that it truly was about networking, and the people that were there really do want to help you.
Yeah, right. And that's what's amazing to find especially in these industries, in radio, in modeling, in acting, in, even music, because it's everyone is seen as quote unquote your competition.
Right.
But it's you have to be the type of person, and that's the type of person I am, and the type of people that, I hope to continue to attract is people that are always willing to give you a hand. And I had that to get to where I'm at, and I've had that. I have Candy, who's on US 99, the country station here, and she used to be on Kiss FM. I've had Candy support, Eddie V from Eddie and Jobo. I've had his support along the way. For modeling, I've had Jessica Milagros, who's a plus size model, for JC Penney, and Ashley Stewart, and I've had all these amazing women, Cassandra Bell. I've just had the support from people in these industries who aren't looking at you like you're my competition. They're looking at you as, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you as much as I can, and I hope you make it even further than I have, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, that's what it should be about, because it's we're not each other's competition. We all have something unique to bring to the table, so we shouldn't feel threatened by somebody else. Exactly. You just got to work on being better than you were yesterday, and help out whoever you can, because they have their own unique style, and we just gotta, it's all support. And that's what I always tell people, when I moved to Indiana and I made, so many amazing friends there, and I'm like, guys, we could build an empire. Because I'm like, with everything that everybody brings to the table, talents and skills and personalities, I'm like, we're unstoppable together,
Definitely.
And that's everybody in this world. But I'm like, unfortunately, people are so caught up in their own day-to-day nonsense that you forget that. But I'm like, the more that we just all realize we all connected, we all need to work together. I'm like,
there's enough for everyone. There really is enough for everyone.
And you have to believe that.
Yeah.
because I mean, like, when you don't believe that, that's when you're putting that negativity out there, and you're stopping that energy from getting to you. You're stopping, you know, all those blessings from coming to you when you're that type of person, like, oh, you know, selfish is mine and only I can have it. And it's like, no, when you realize there's abundance, you know, and there's enough for everybody, you're not worried.
Yeah, you're not worried.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
you're like, it's cool.
Worried about is topping yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. How do I improve me? What else? How can I learn? Because that's what life is about. As you age, you just want to gain more knowledge and wisdom, and, you know, so it's like, that's all you need to focus on. Focus on being a better you.
Yes.
Not nobody else, and what, you know, and how you can help others.
Absolutely. How, you know, because the biggest thing about it is, how do you build? How do you network? How do you create relationships? How do you create opportunities for someone else?
Right.
That's what I've always been taught. That's what I've been going with forever, because that's how I was taught.
Yeah.
Was that, especially when it comes to Chicago artists. If you do, my mom always said, if you don't support local artists, they won't be local anymore.
Right.
They'll have to leave.
Right.
And because of that, I've been so adamant about making sure that I support artists that are dope, that are from Chicago. That doesn't mean I support every single mess, but if somebody's good and doing great work, then I have no problem supporting them and showing them love.
Right. And that's how I am, you know. I'm like, that's what I do too. And I'm like, it's hard sometimes because, you know, everybody tries to come at you and be like, oh, you know, share my stuff. And it's like, honestly though, I'm going to keep it real. And I'm going to only, like, share stuff that I feel like, because it's like, you're also representing yourself. And if you're out there just, you know, telling everybody, sharing everything and telling everybody, you know, oh, try, you know, do this, do that, follow this person, follow that person. You're exactly. And you don't have credibility anymore, because it's like, oh, well, you just post any whack, you know.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's not that I'm trying to be picky, but it's like, everyone has their brand. You are your brand. And it's like, I can't sit here and just repost everybody's everything, because it's like, I have to make sure that what I'm putting out is something that I represent, I believe in, you know, and is something that I feel like is of quality too, you know. And not to knock anybody's stuff, but it's like, you just gotta keep an eye on what you're putting out there.
Absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick music break. So this is Danaya Azure Radio on Windy City Underground, your music, your station. And this is Nikki Lynette with Let Me Be Your Secret.
What we'll do when we're alone, nobody ever has to know.
Hey. This is Windy City Underground, Danaya Azure Radio, your music, your station. And we are back with Naomi.
Hello.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, so I know we had the Me Too movement around the country, but here in Chicago I've heard, a couple of different photographers that have issues. So when you're working with a photographer, what's the first thing you look for, and what's the first sign that you know maybe this is not the person I want to talk to?
So I actually just had a recent little encounter. So I had somebody reach out to me, a photographer, because I'm allowed to work with different photographers as long as I kind of okay it with my agency first, just to make sure they're in the right light of the agency and what they represent and stuff.
Right.
So I had someone reach out to me in my DMs, and I'm like, okay, do you have a mood board? A mood board, if you're a photographer, establishing photographer, whatever, you send a mood board just to kind of give the look and set the tone for what shoot you're trying to go for. Because every time you're trying to shoot, you should have some sort of idea in mind, like a color scheme, if it's about scenery, what the scenery is, if it's, obviously you have a model, so what's the look for the model or whatever. So he sends me, and there's a bunch of pictures. And out of, I don't even know how many, but there's maybe 3 with women in gowns. The rest, it's bras and panties and thongs. And the pictures, even there's one thing when you're trying to be provocative. And I have a picture on my Instagram where I'm on a chair in my bathing suit. But I think the vibe isn't I'm trying to seduce you. It's more I'm chilling in the middle of, the greenery, on a beach chair. It's different. And so all the poses, even in these pictures that he sent me as an example, they're being sexual. And I'm like, excuse me, that's not, yeah. So I'm like, no, and I still was like, well, what do you think? I told my agent, and she's like, yeah, I probably wouldn't. And I'm like, I didn't think so. Because I'm like, why would you send me, you're sending me a bunch of naked women. That's not what I'm trying to do. And yeah, I get there's art in nude photography, but I'm like, you see the difference between something that's artistically tasteful and something that's just
raunchy.
You just exactly. You're just trying to be on the 18 and over magazine or whatever, and it's no. So I just am really cautious of things like that, or I'll look at, their Instagram, and it's do you have mostly naked women? Do you have, because it's that's not what I'm trying to do. If that's what I wanted to do, I'd have been in the industry a long time ago. The moment I turned 18, I'd have been out there. People had known my name, but I'm that's not the route I'm trying to go.
Right.
I'm not trying to be in the adult industry. I'm trying to be, Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And nobody, yeah. And that's sad, yeah, because I'm that's sad that all these, people that are in that industry, nobody really takes them serious for other opportunities, and it's that's not fair either, you know?
It's kind of sad because it's they got into it just, what I'm saying, just to get to get a big break or to get something and to get out of that. Nobody wants to stay in that. Maybe some people do, but.
Right, and it's reality TV stars. It's kind of, the same thing sometimes. It's hard for them to get out of a certain light.
Oh, my
because
goodness,
it's they're out there drinking, or that's, that's how they, that's how they,
I'm really surprised, shout out to Cardi B. I'm really surprised that, she really found a way to, break that mold, but that's not common.
Right.
That's not common.
And she still has people that are, opposed to her because, she was a stripper, or because of how she speaks, and I'm
True.
But she's herself. You don't have to, and that's the thing, you don't have to agree with what everybody's doing, but it's to me, as long as you're not a murderer or, a rapist, or, you're not out there harming other people or harming yourself in a way, then do you.
Absolutely.
If you were a stripper to make money and whatever it is, do you. That's your life. You're handling it however you see fit, or however your life, wherever you're at the moment, mentally and spiritually and emotionally. We all have, and that's what I was realizing the other day. I was sitting outside because it's we all have issues. There's bumps in the roads. My car got rear-ended by a bus, so it's now I'm out of a car for a month. Yeah.
Lord.
So I'm but I sit there and it's instead of dwelling on, man, this sucks, now I can't do this, I'm you know what, this is beautiful. This ain't great. Obviously it's kind of changes my path a little bit, and now I got to figure out an alternate route to get to where I'm trying to go, but it's beautiful. I'm like, it's it's still a beautiful experience because it's my experience, and it's building me, and it's leading me to wherever it is that I'm going, or what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm like, I'm grateful. It's beautiful, and I'm like, I appreciate my experience.
Exactly, because you never know where it's going to lead you.
No.
And that's what people don't realize. You never know what's going to happen. You never know where it's going to lead you, depending on where you're going. I always say that everything happens for a reason.
Oh, yeah. That's my biggest thing. So much so I wanted to get it tattooed somewhere on me. But I'm already at 6 tattoos, and my agency told me, you can't get any more.
You got 6 tattoos?
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like, when I'm changing in all these outfits, I have to cover my tattoo for depending on who the client is and stuff. So... yeah, like for Kohl's, I was doing juniors, so obviously it's younger. So it's a mess because I haven't found like the perfect makeup. Like that stuff's expensive. Like that's what I have.
And it still didn't.
I'm not trying to call them out, but setting powder and everything, and it transfers like nobody's business. I have messed up some. I felt so bad for like the clothes at Kohl's. I was like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, because there was makeup everywhere.
I was like, there's definitely makeup on that.
Yeah, and it's hard because like you're changing. You can't get it on the front. You can't get because if you stain the front of the white T-shirt, the inside okay fine, but the front, so. It's a little bit of a mess, but you do what you got to do.
Yeah, but that's the thing about it. Like, so people just don't realize what it takes. And I'm glad you talked about, when it comes to the photographers, because there are so many girls that have been taken advantage of, and I see it on Instagram, and I'm just like I'm still trying to understand why you would want to put Fruit Loops in the tub and take a shot and think that's okay. Like, I'm like, who? I've seen. Go ahead and Google. Like, literally the shot is like the girl naked in a tub with milk and Fruit Loops, and I'm just like, and I wish it was just one. It's multiple, and a lot of them are here. I'm like, I don't even understand why y'all thought that was cute, but who convinced you that this is a good idea for your career? And it's sad because a lot of people do whatever they want to just to get into the industry, or so they think.
Right.
And then like you said, they get pigeonholed. But even beyond getting pigeonholed, you open yourself up to opportunity to crazy opportunities or to comments, and then they're like, well, why did they say this? Well, why did you take that photo? That was not the best idea.
Right. Which people, sadly, people always have those like negative comments, even on regular pictures. Like I've had people put a vomit emoji on one of my pictures, and I'm like, really?
I was like, why are you hating for?
But my thing is, like, I never understand, like, and I was just talking about this yesterday. I'm like, what do you get? Like, if you think about it,
right?
Yeah, I've scrolled through Instagram. I've seen pictures, and I'm like, oh, that's not the cutest, or oh, that's horrible.
But I would never.
What do I get? What is there any outcome? Any positive outcome to commenting and being like, oh my God, that's disgusting, or why would you put that out there, or why are you wearing that? Like, no.
I think mostly people do that because they're hoping to either one, get you upset and get you saying mean things to them, because misery loves company.
Yeah.
And also too, I think it's also like an insecurity thing.
Yeah.
Like once you get one bad comment, somebody else will
feel courageous enough
to start chiming in, and I think that people like try to egg people to like put negative comments on their stuff, and that's why you have to be strong.
Oh yeah, because I'm like, when I look at that, and I'm like, I'm 26, I'll be 27 next month at this point. Yeah, so it's like, there's nothing. That's one thing. There's nothing you can tell me, say about. Like, I've looked at my face for going on 27. I've looked at this body. Like, there is nothing you can tell me about it that I'm be like, oh damn. Like, I've seen it. Really? Trust me, I know. And it's like, you're your own worst critic. So it's like, you can't tell me, oh, your nose is too big, without, I probably already knew that. Like, I had already known that. Like, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. So what's your you're wasting your time.
Right. It's like my nose is too big. Exactly. My nose is too big. However, I'm the one that's sitting there. So you go to Kohl's, you see the wall. That's my picture.
And that's the thing. It's like, what are you like? I don't understand. You're out there putting all this negativity, and it's like, you're not getting anything from this. And it's like, are you that bored with your life? Because that's what I think too. Like, you literally sat here and commented. Like, the time it took, you could have just scrolled right past my ugly ass picture, but I'm like, the time it took you to stop to hit the little bubble to comment, and then to type out your comment, and then to hit send. Like, you know, that took you so much more time to tell me how much you disliked my photo than if you would just scroll.
Right.
Right.
Where's your life?
Yeah, so I'm like, that's what you got going on.
Right. That's what we doing now.
Right. You have nothing better to do than sit there. Like, I'll sit there and I'll post positive stuff. Like, I have time for that. I have time to sit there, but it's like, who has time to sit there and, you know, type something negative? Type, like, for what?
There's no reason. There's no point in doing it. People do it all the time because, you know, they think they're going to be Instagram famous or YouTube famous or whatever, but the problem is, it's because whatever's negative spreads quicker than what's positive, and that's the saddest part about it.
Yeah.
That's why we're in the state we're in today. That's why we have a president that's, yeah.
Well, it's like they say, you know, a lot of times you always have the negative comments stick in your mind more. So, you know, you could have heard you're beautiful, you're gorgeous a million times, but that one time somebody said your eyes are too close together, you're just like, back in, you know, 2000 and you're just like, that sticks. But do you remember every person that said you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, oh my God, you're so stunning?
No.
I could not name them.
And that's what people forget, you know, especially when it comes to social media, because I said they're little keyboard thugs, basically, because you know they wouldn't say nothing to your face.
Twitter fingers.
Fingers. That's all. It's Twitter fingers, you know, and it's sad because that's what makes a lot of people kind of detract, especially when it comes to women. I know the one thing that when I was heavy on Periscope, the biggest problem that we had was that guys just sexually harassing them constantly. It took Periscope forever to even do anything about it. Like 2 years later, I'm like, dude, it's too late. We've all left. We don't care anymore.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, I still go in there a little bit. I don't care if they hear this because we've told them, like, that was a problem. You lost a lot of great scopers because you refused to work on the sexual harassment. They're literally sitting there bombarding these women with disrespectful comments, no matter what they wore. And it's just like, what are y'all doing? Like, what are you doing to control this? I know you're looking at these scopes because you're dinging people on other stuff, but not this part.
Right.
You know, it got to a point where, like, they had gotten in trouble because they had sexual assaults that were on Periscope, and they, like, literally live streamed, and we're just like, how are you allowing this? Where is the person that's monitoring all of this?
Right.
You know, and I think that's, you know, and when Emily talks about the photographer, that's a huge thing because, you know, there are people that have been sexually assaulted on photo shoots. Right. And that's what they tell us. They're like, always bring a friend. Even if I'm shooting with a female photographer, male photographer, they're like, always just bring someone with you just to be safe. And I'm like, I'm not to be, and even if people are like, oh, you're a scaredy cat, whatever, I'm like, I prefer not to go anywhere by myself. Not because I don't know how to be alone. I perfectly can, but it's like, if it's an event, if it's something where I'm going to be out in the evening, like, I'd prefer to not be walking around or out and about by myself. Yeah. Right. Because you're kind of an easier target to most.
You're really vulnerable. It's like the buddy system actually works. Like, you hear it all the time. Buddy system. But, like, there's a reason you hear it all the time. Yeah. It works. And it's like, you know, sexual harassment, like, in business settings, it's more common than you think. Like, I was sexually assaulted at one of my photo shoots, and, like, it happens so fast. Like, you realize it afterwards. You're like, oh my God, like, what was that? Mm-hmm. Right. And it's like, it's always good to just, like, have someone there. Right. You know, even if they're just sitting in the corner holding your purse, watching everything that happens.
Yeah, like, because people are a little, like, more discouraged, or you'd hope they'd be a little discouraged. It's like, oh, there's another person. It's not just you and me, because people all of a sudden, oh, it's just you and me one-on-one. Yeah. Yeah, and back to, like, the Instagram thing, like, because to me, it is kind of harassment. Like, I won't even because I usually like all my comments. You know, people be like, oh my God, you look so cute, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, I like them. But, like, when it comes across the ones that are like, oh, you look so sexy or this and that, like, from a guy, I won't even hit like on it because I'm not trying to encourage you to, or like there was one where I actually had clicked the little heart because he put 3 emojis and it was like, I think a heart eyes and then like a smiley face, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked at the last one. The last one's the one like that I use when something looks delicious, you know, with the little tongue out, like, ooh. And then I was like, oh, no. I like unhearted it right away because I'm like, no. Right. I was like, you could put, you know, the hard eyes, whatever. I like that, but I'm like, once you put the one that I use when something looks delicious, like food, I can't encourage you to.
We can't do that.
I'm like, I appreciate it, thank you, but I can't encourage it. Don't sit here, because I'm like, you don't have to put that. He could have been fine with the first 2 emojis, and I would have been like, thank you. You know?
This is a really interesting conversation because it's actually something that doesn't get talked about a lot.
It doesn't.
About the industry, and I'm kind of, you know, it's a really dark subject. However, if it's brought to the light, you know, people can handle it better. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people do this, men and women. A lot of people do this, not even knowing that they're discouraging somebody. Like, it's just a matter of, oh, I want this and I can get it now.
Right.
And they're not even wondering. So I'm really glad that this whole Me Too movement, all of this, what is it? Enough is enough or something like that. Time's up. Yeah. I'm really glad that this stuff is happening because it's bringing it to a lot of people's, like, forefront of their conscience that they didn't even think about.
Right.
You know, and also too, like, it's also empowering people who's felt powerless because they've experienced something like this, and now they don't know what to do. Right. And now they get discouraged and think twice about following their goals and following their dreams because they don't want to get hurt. They just want to be successful. Right. And so I'm really glad that, like, this conversation right here is happening because it's really good to talk about, like, what you can do to be safe and what you can do to make someone else feel safe.
Right. Yeah, and that's another thing too, because like when you're out and stuff, like if I've ever, you know, me and my friend, we were ever out at, you know, at a club or at a bar, and you see, because you know, guys want to dance with you, and they'll just pop up behind you, and you're just like, excuse me, who are you? Right. And like I'm the quickest, like I am cold hearted, like I have gone literally like no, we don't, because you know they can't hear, so I will do hand gestures, like I will be like like step back, I do not, because they get aggressive. And when you see also like another girl, you can tell when somebody's uncomfortable, you know, so I'll always kind of try and like, you know, not to be what they call a cock block or anything, but it's like you can tell when somebody's genuinely and they don't have anybody to step in for them or whatever the situation is.
I'm like, oh yeah, come on, girl.
I'd be like, oh hey, did you wanna, you know, whatever. And if obviously if they agree, then you know, like, oh, okay, yeah, oh thanks, whatever, and they'll go with you. If not, then I'll be like, all right, you know, I tried to save you, you don't want to come, you like it, that's all right, you want to deal with that, that's right, you know. But I'm like, yeah, that's another important thing that you gotta kind of watch out for other people sometimes too, you know, because you know, other people may go out, they may not have, because I've had events that I've been invited to or things I want to go to and I don't have anybody to go with because my boyfriend's working, my sister isn't 21, and so it's like I just won't go because I'm like, I really don't feel comfortable going somewhere, especially in the evening, alone. Not because I can't be by myself, because trust me, I enjoy it, but it's just safer. And it's like safety over anything. Like, it's going to look good on the Instagram to go out to that event, but I'd rather, you know, be safe. And if I can't have anyone go with me, I'll skip it.
I know it's like, for me, I'm an only child, so I go places a lot by myself, but I kind of like do the whole like, my mom hates it because like if I have my music in my ears, like, but I always have one out. But I'll be just dancing and acting crazy, so I don't have people bother me. And I was like, but I told my mom, I was like, did anybody talk to us? She's like, no. I'm like, see, mission accomplished. Right. That's what you have. You have to act different because you're like, what in the world? And that's what you want. Yeah. Because do not approach me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with this.
That's what's hard. Like I've talked about it recently too, where like when you take public transportation and stuff, like I will, like, depending on how I'm gonna get to a place, will like I'll pick what I'm gonna wear, because it's like I can't be too cute on a train, because I was sitting there the other day waiting for a train, and like I was looking at my phone and I felt the guy next to me like staring at me. We're both waiting for the train, and I'm like, please just be looking past me, like, you know, I never want to be that person that assumes you're checking me out, because I'm like, I know I ain't everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not trying to be out there like everybody wants a piece of this. So, you know, I'm like, please be looking past me, like, please, I hope I'm catching, you know, your, like, is your peripherals I'm in or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm trying to ignore it. Sure enough, he leans over and taps me. And I'm like, what? No. He's like, I just want to let you know you're beautiful. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Bye. And I turn back around, like, I don't even engage. I'm just like, thank you, smile, and then go back right to what I'm doing. Because I'm like, I'm not trying to give you, you know, and then I make sure not to jump in the same cart, like the train cart as you. Right. And like, you know, you always want to go, which my boyfriend told me about. And I'm like, I never even thought of that. You always go in the one with the conductor.
At the very first,
I never even, I was just like,
at night,
because sometimes, and it's any time of day, because one time it was like daytime and I got on the train and it was only me and like this other like suspect looking guy, and I was like, I'm like, somebody else please come on, and then a lady came on and I was like, thank goodness, because it was scary.
Man, Oh my goodness. Go ahead and tell everybody where they can follow you, book you, all that good stuff.
So mainly I'm focusing on one social media at a time. So Instagram right now is the place that I'm trying to perfect. So always be love _ on Instagram. So just always be I spelled it. I spelled everything out. Always be love.
Nice.
And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Snapchat at Danaya Azure. That's DANAYAAZURE. Like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Danaya Designs for You, facebook.com/K4S Entertainment, facebook.com/Black Chicago Industry Makers. Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at, please.
Well, guys, you can find me at Yaya for the Win, and that's spelled YAYAH for the Win, all one word, no underscores, and that's Instagram, Twitter.
Twitter is at the only Yaya.
Twitter is at the only Yaya.
So Yaya
I
for the Win,
actually do have to
Instagram and
change
Snapchat.
that.
Yeah,
so Instagram and Snapchat is Yaya for the Win. Thank you very much. And then Twitter is at the only Yaya. And go ahead and follow my Facebook page, Beat Radio.
Yes, so Yaya has Beat Radio on Fridays here on Windy City Underground at 9 a.m. with LA Austin. So make sure you guys tune in for that as well. Naomi, it has been so incredible to have you on. You gotta come back.
Yes.
We gotta do a whole panel.
Oh my
again.
God, it's already over.
I know, right? I told you the hour goes by so quick, yo.
Thank you for having me.
Girl, you gotta come back.
Yeah,
It's
you
so
definitely
much
gotta
fun.
come back.
Yeah.
Thank
So we
you.
gotta have her back. She's Illinois Media School alum. She has to come back because I could see why
Lombard.
she was on the radio. Look, listen to her voice. Isn't she cute, y'all?
Stop it.
And also, guys, if you are listening and you want your music on here,
Yes.
Submit at WindyCityUnderground.com. You gotta go submit at WindyCityUnderground.com so you get your music played. You must be independent artist. We need a MP3 format only. We do not. I'm not downloading the link. No, we don't. We don't edit music. Edited music. And MP3
cut out
format,
all the cuss words
please,
too.
Please.
Edit that out.
Yes.
You have to edit them out because anytime you send anything to radio, you gotta edit out your stuff.
no B's, no H's, no F's.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here, but we're gonna leave you with an amazing song by the fabulous The Only Yaya, and that is "Be Who You Are."